Hey guys, welcome back to more Entitled People stories. In this video, a psycho neighbor cut my wooden patio in half because I supposedly encroached on his property. Here is what happened. Let's dive right into the video. The first one starts like this. I've never believed that there were people that would just destroy property and act like it was a normal thing to do. Not even my neighbor, who I knew was crazy for years before I really had any problems with him. To avoid using his true name, I'm just gonna call him Karen. He is entitled enough to deserve the title, to be honest. Plus, he's one of those men who are really fragile about his masculinity, so giving him a girl's name is just funny for me. The land Karen has is smaller than mine because decades ago there was some land purchased from people who used to own my current land. I don't know all the details of the why or anything, but it was long before either one of us lived here. Karen was a guy that I avoided because there just always seemed something a little off about him. I can count our conversations together on only one hand over the last 6 years of being neighbors, one of which was him thinking that me wearing a shirt with pink in it was horrible and made me less of a man. I don't know what he was compensating about, but I'm sure you might be able to comment on some nice retorts about that. Anyway, my wife decided that she wanted to do something major to the house because it was old and she wanted some work done. I was more than happy to let her do what she wanted. Well, in the end she decided that she wanted to convert a decent portion of our backyard into a patio space. In her words, we live in too nice of an area not to be outside more. We hired a contractor, got it built, etc. Nothing exciting about it being built, but I do want to point out that during the entire construction process, the neighbor Karen did not say a single word to us. If he had a complaint about something going on, he had a good month and a half to say anything about it. I had seen him watching the construction, so he was well aware of what was going on. And then, weeks later, after the patio was done, we came home and half of the patio was gone. Not gone exactly, because we could clearly see the pieces that used to be half of it thrown all over our yard. Now, we have cameras and I was gonna check them, but did not need to because Karen seemed to be waiting for us to come home and see the damage. Karen, that's what you deserve for messing with my property. My wife, I'm calling the police. She went inside to call them. She had a cell phone, but I think she was worried about what Karen was capable of, especially if he had the tools to destroy a patio. Me, we did not touch your property. What are you talking about? Karen, half of your little princess patio was on my side of the property. I didn't agree to any of that, so you can enjoy having it ripped up. I don't know what about the patio to him screamed feminine. It was a basic wood patio and even our furniture that we put out there was just color schemed white and blue. It was such an offhand comment but confused me so much the more I think back on it. Me, the entire thing was on my property. Karen, well, I have a survey report that says you are wrong. Think you can do anything you want, huh? You have another thing coming, buddy. Me, first of all, I'm not your buddy. And second, you didn't think for maybe 1 second to talk to me before destroying my patio? Karen, talking is for women, action is for men. I really wish that I could lie and say that he didn't talk like this or say those things. They make me cringe and make me feel uncomfortable even transcribing them. The police did come and place him under arrest for destruction of property. He got out on bail though and wanted to take the entire thing to court, claiming that he did not do anything illegal because he didn't touch anything on my side of the property line. Meanwhile, my wife was distraught that her patio was now cut in half and we wasted so much money getting it built for it to only last a few weeks. Of course, we were countersuing against him to force him to pay the money in order to get our patio repaired. Nothing happened for a while as we waited and avoided Karen as advised by a lawyer. Despite wanting to yell at his face every time I saw him, I managed to keep my cool. In court, his argument was using a land survey he got his hands on that showed the land being part of his property. The issue was that his land survey was very old, like 50 years old and not accurate to what the current property lines were. And nobody believed him, really thinking that was the line and not what he was told when he moved in years ago. That was when he decided to speak, which it being him of course made things worse. Karen said, "It doesn't matter how old it is. This is the land I'm supposed to have based on what was built. I didn't agree to let him have a piece of my land." The judge tried to explain to him that he never owned that land, that when he bought the house he was told exactly the land he had purchased and where the boundaries were. That still was not good enough for him though. Karen, they built a dam, gay slur, patio, and all I did was remove the part near my house. He actually had to get warned about his language and the fact that he was yelling. He was ordered to pay for the repairs needing to be done to the patio, as well as some money for pain and suffering, since we were terrified that he would come back with the tools to attack us next. That was the civil matter dealt with, but he was still facing criminal charges for trespassing and destruction of property. He pled guilty and was getting some time behind bars due to how expensive the damages he did was. Plus, of course, with the excessive force he used to do it all. Hearing from our lawyer on the phone that I was not going to have to live near him for some time was amazing. It took a little bit of time, but we did manage to get all the money in order to rebuild our patio. We also now have 2 years to come up with some kind of revenge to welcome him back. That is, of course, if he comes back after 2 years, either from acting like an idiot in prison or just losing the house. So far, my only idea has been to do something like get a fence between our properties and paint it pink just to annoy him. I'm sure that I'll come up with more before he gets out, but I'm more than happy to hear suggestions. I, at this point, have a year and a half before his time is technically up. Edit, I hear a lot of you saying that we should get some kind of restraining order against him. And well, we are getting an order of protection, so if he gets out and tries to come on our property, he will just be arrested again. And the next one is titled, Psycho Neighbor Neglected His Dog. And by the way, Ripe Stars, I gotta say, this next story is a little bit disturbing if you are a big lover of dogs. It's not like a dog dies or something, but it's definitely a terrible dog owner, so the story is a little bit of a heartbreaker. Anyway, let's dive right in. So, hi, my upstairs neighbor shut their dog on the balcony pretty frequently. She barks or cries for a couple hours and it's annoying, but no big deal. Until yesterday. They are literally not home. It's been about 20 hours or so, and their sweet dog has been crying and barking every half hour for nearly the entire time. I slept maybe 2 hours between barking and crying fits, so forgive me if this does not make a ton of sense. I already banged on their door, threw rocks at their window, but nothing. No lights came on, so I'm pretty sure they are not here. Unfortunately, don't know what they drive, so technically they could be dead inside the unit. So far, I have called number 1 the apartment complex emergency line about 3 AM when she was still crying, hung up on me twice before I could say one word. Number 2, the apartment office who came and knocked and called them with no answer. They basically said they are either at work or something bad happened to them. Number 3, animal control, who pretty much said the same thing, plus they would leave a notice and they could take legal action if they received no call back from the owners. I have probably not safely scaled the side of the balcony and pushed water and food to the dog, which she quickly eats and drinks. I've also thrown some chew toys up there and a Kong ball. I taped a mirror to a broom so I could see, and she had a bed up there, but that's it. It's going on 20 hours nearly of her just non-stop crying, and it is heartbreaking. I've met her before and she's just so sweet. At this point I'm pretty sure something happened to the owners because they seem to love her and don't strike me as abandon her on the porch. She is a German Shepherd, so I can exactly strap her to my back like a Yorkie while climbing the railing. My husband has already gotten pissed at me for climbing on it at all because it's dangerous, but it's killing me. Anyone got ideas? Our balcony is 2nd floor and theirs is 3rd. The dog probably weighs around 40 to 60 pounds and is friendly with me. Edit number 1, ETA, found out what car they drive. I haven't seen it in a few days. The apartment complex hosts the P of our porch, but that's about all they could do. Apartment complex and animal control left notes on the door. I used these to get the full name of the person, and she is not at any local hospitals or jails. It sucks, but I think I'm going to have to wait until animal control can do anything and just keep trying to give her food and water. Edit number 2, another welfare check won't work because they are not home and cops won't open the door unless they have reason to believe someone needs help inside, unfortunately, although I may call back and see if I can get a more sympathetic dispatcher if animal control doesn't do anything by tomorrow, as it's gonna get hot then. Edit number 3, y'all, I'm so mad. Somebody mentioned that I should have other neighbors talk to the police with me, so I knocked on the door of the person next to me. They told me that a dog walker came to their door yesterday or the day before looking for their unit. So these people are definitely out of town and either the dog walker never found the unit or the dog walker shut the dog out and never came back. I figured that the dog walker was from an agency and my neighbors would have left them a key. And sure enough, there's a key under the mat. When my partner gets home, I'm busting that dog out. It is unbelievable. Edit number 4, more edits I'm mad about. Front office got in touch. She, the owner of the dog, said, "I'm aware of the situation and will have someone come by." The hell? Imagine being aware of this and just not hiring another dog walker. Okay, they cannot pass my information to her. I'm getting dangerously close to jailbreaking her out. Edit number 5, positive edit because it doesn't look like anything is gonna get done today. I've decided not to commit a felony. For now, I'm continuing to give her water, food, toys, treats, etc. under the rail. She's still crying a lot and I'm taking that as a good thing because it means she has enough energy, aka enough food for now. Animal control has essentially promised to come get her tomorrow. The apartment said they will pressure wash the pee as much as I want. I'm just gonna wait till she's gone at this point. The barking and crying is killing me, so I'm probably going to sleep at my mom's. My husband's plan is 5 mg of melatonin. A genuine thank you, by the way, to everyone with something encouraging to say. It has really and truly helped me, if not just emotionally. Edit number 6, hopefully last edit. It's such a long story and I'll make a follow-up post and put a link here, but again, I'm so tired. For everyone tuning in until I post the whole story, the dog is inside with water and food. I also walked her for a bit and have not heard her cry or bark through the ceiling. Also, there were no cameras inside and I have access if I need it. Hope everyone can rest easy for now. Update. First and foremost, thank you to all of you who provided encouragement and sane advice. You all made me feel like I could make a difference in the world and it was really nice. Special shout out to anyone who told me not to break in. I was definitely sleep deprived and pissed off, rightfully so, but still, and I think I came here hoping the response would be a riot telling me to break in. I really cannot afford jail time, to be honest with you, financially, mentally, emotionally or physically, so I needed to hear, wait it out, keep supplying food and water. Part 2 of the story. So secondly, here's what happened yesterday on paper. Before animal control closed, this is Monday night, I called and made sure this was at the top of their list for tomorrow. I was getting the runaround from my apartment management and they were the only ones who could really order the police to go in. This is what the local dispatch told me. The animal control department told me something different, so they agreed to call the police directly and handle it first thing the next morning. My neighbor did tell the apartment complex that someone is coming, so I decided that if no one came by dark again, I was gonna do it myself. I planted myself outside their door. To be clear, at this point the dog has gone 24 hours with no care, no food or water other than what I provided and no potty breaks. Evidence is the gallon of pee on my patio. Someone did show up. I will call her Monica. I introduce myself, tell her I live below and ask if she's the dog walker. She says no and starts to cry. More details on that in the next part. This part is just for the facts. She's not the dog walker. The neighbor had asked her to let the dog out on Sunday and Monday night, to which she told them she couldn't do it. Again, more detail below, but ultimately she cancelled her plans and came out of guilt because she knew this neighbor had likely not arranged anything else. I kindly let her know that I was gonna come in and make sure the dog had water, food, use the bathroom outside, and would not leave until I saw her lock the dog inside the house. That was done, and by the end she put the key somewhere accessible and said, "You didn't see this, but you're also seeing this, right?" and went on her way. She told me the neighbor said they'd be home that night, again Monday. It's currently Tuesday at 9 AM and they are not home. Animal control just opened and I'm giving them a call. So now let's dive into part 3 of the story. Here's the damn tea from yesterday. I introduce myself kindly and ask if this person who showed up is the dog walker and how long the owners have been gone, and this is the only time they asked her to come by. Monica is not the dog walker, she's the neighbor's family member's ex-fiancé. She cried and told me the following: the neighbor's family member was her fiancé, convinced her to move here and became abusive to her. She ended things with him a month ago, after which neighbor and the rest of the family blocked her, even knowing about the abuse. This doesn't surprise me because I had an abusive family member, and anyone who made excuses for the abuse while it was happening continued after to blame the victim. Monica also tells me that neighbor has plenty of friends and family in the area. Despite being new to the state, they actually spent a ton of time here and could ask really anyone. Instead of asking friends or apparently many family members, the neighbor unlocks a family member's ex-fiancé and demands she do it, even though she lives 45 minutes away and would not give her even gas money. Monica says she told the neighbor no. The neighbor pushed Monica accused to letting the dog out one Sunday night because of the info below. Apparently the neighbors are at a wedding only an hour away. Allegedly they were planning on bringing the dog to the wedding, which was Sunday night, mind you it's Monday now, but we are told last minute Friday that they couldn't. So they unblocked Monica on Friday to ask if she could watch the dog Sunday and Monday night. Remember though, Monica says no, they push. Monica says okay, but just Sunday afternoon until you figure something else out, blah blah blah. So these guys had a wedding Sunday night, left their dog on the porch Sunday at noon, asked someone to come by Sunday afternoon and leave her on the porch. And that is all the care they arranged, knowing they would be gone until Tuesday. I'm like, okay, that's effed up, but it's Monday now, why are you here? Monica tells me that she knows these people and she knows how they take care of their dog, and she knew even if she said no, that no one would come. Sure enough, she said Monday. They ask her again to let the dog out. After she said no multiple times, she then cancels her plans, drives 45 minutes and lets the dog out. Y'all, I'm walking around their house and believe everything she said. It was so weird. They've been here for several weeks now and there was no dog bed, no toys, just nothing. And well, they have a German Shepherd dude. I know people with GSDs, their house are covered in squeaky toys and balls and lick mats. I'm a dog lover, so I recognize that there are people who don't know a lot about these dogs, but come on. They need stimulation and they need their people. These are working dogs, they get very attached to their owners and need a lot of exercise. There were 2 metal bolts on the floor inside and that was literally it. Monica says the neighbors are coming back tonight, so I'm like, okay, let me get all of the stuff I put on the porch for the dog. I grab it and there's literally 1 rope toy up there, couches for the dog but no water bowl. I told Monica that was effed up. If they wanted the dog left on the porch, she needs access to water and something to do. I was shocked that she didn't tear up their outdoor furniture. Monica said she actually bought the rope toy for the dog Sunday because she felt bad, it was probably bored. Again, Monica clearly isn't a dog person because she bought a tug-of-war toy for a dog left alone. Bless her though, she was doing her best. But also, oh my god, running out of characters, so the rest is below in the comments. I'll continue to reply to myself with updates. Another update. At this point, I am seething. She tells me the dog is so sweet, but she knows this is wrong and she just literally cannot take care of it today and left her grandmother's house to let the dog inside after seeing some text from the neighbor. Keep in mind the key's under the mat. Like neighbor could have hired a dog walker or asked management to let the dog inside. I once left for a trip in December and forgot to drip my sinks. I called management 4 hours down the road when I remembered and they had it done in 10. Like honestly, there's just genuinely no excuse for this. Their plan was to guilt trip this girl they knew had poor boundaries into tending to their dog twice. There was some talk in the comments about how it was good enough thing that the neighbor said she was aware and sending someone. However, this made it clear to me that she meant she was aware of the situation because it was intentional, and someone is coming really meant I asked someone who said no, but I don't want animal control to take my dog, so yeah, someone is coming and I'll be home tonight. Another update to the story. I will update this hopefully soon after animal control gets here. I'm really genuinely avoiding going into their apartment now because I know they are crappy humans. I'm extremely confident they wouldn't view me as helping their dog, but as coddling their dog / psycho / etc. They clearly don't give a damn about this dog and they are just a-holes who I think would press charges on me. Animal control just called me and let me know they have contacted the apartment property owner directly and they are waiting for a call back when they open here in about 10 minutes. They left a voicemail indicating how urgent it was and told me they fully intend to cite the owners and try to get into the apartment to care for the dog or take it into custody. I'm pretty familiar with the holding center for animal control because they partner with a local shelter from which I fostered a dog. It's an incredibly nice facility, pretty new and well staffed, so no one has to worry about the dog being miserable while detained or put down. Another update. Alright, if you're still reading, you're nosy and you don't need the TLDR. So the apartment complex fined my neighbor for the refundable pet deposit, which they'll not be getting refunded, as well as the non-refundable pet deposit, the pet fee, pet rent for the entire time they were there, an additional fee that is admin since they had to file complaints against them, more fees for having to clean pee off my porch and the downstairs neighbor's porch. I could not tell you the exact dollar amount, but I have a dog and I know the pet-related fees and pet rent for the time they've been here is upwards of $600. The property owner decided not to evict them this time, but the entire office team are huge dog lovers. So they let me know that I should report as much as possible, and their plan is to make it very expensive for these people to live here if they continue to abuse the dog. Animal control told me they cited and fined them on 2 separate charges. While they could not tell me specifically what those charges were for privacy reasons, they told me that they did 2 things in order to make the next strike the last one. They encouraged me to call if I heard or saw anything else, so they could enforce that as well. Police are useless as usual. Sorry, if you like cops, I haven't had good experiences though. I'm not a fan. I was not surprised at their general unhelpfulness, is that a word though, throughout this process. They would not do anything and gave me no further steps. One lady working for dispatch said next time to call in multiple noise complaints and have the neighbors do the same, and that might accomplish more, but that's about it. The dog is not here. I heard a rumor from another neighbor that allegedly she is staying with the owner's mom, who cares for the dog frequently and for extended periods of time, like for several months while they were moving. She lives in a house, so I think she'll be a bit more comfortable there. I bet the dog gets passed on to whoever wants to care for her. If the dog turns back up here though, I'm stealing it, and that's that. I wish I knew more details. It's a small building, so I'm sure the mill will spit out more info soon, but that's all for now. Also, I'm not a super optimist, but I'll say, y'all, this dog was so well behaved. Crying before using the bathroom and not tearing up the furniture, not afraid of people and pretty confident, gentle when playing with the toys, etc. If the neighbor's mom has mostly raised this puppy, I truly think she may be a better person because it's really well behaved. GSD owners know that it's not an easy feat, so I hope that some of y'all sleep easy now. And yeah guys, if you cannot get enough of my content, please don't forget to check out my podcast by searching for Ripe Stories on all major podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple or Google Podcasts. Furthermore, you can find bonus content by going to patreon.com/ripeyoutube or by clicking the join button here on YouTube. For a small monthly fee, you will get access to dozens and dozens of exclusive videos you won't find anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.